Hello, my name is Dr. Brad Decker. I teach composition and music technology here at Eastern Illinois University Department of Music. I'd like to welcome you to our course, our workshop in music technology and education, Music 5200A. This video, I will go over the course website and talk about how we will do things here this semester. First, let's start with D2L. And I'll go over here to our course home. Here you will find the name of the course and a little bit of a news feed here. I'll post announcements for the general classes here, if appropriate. Note that if you have any questions, you can email me at this email address, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. This email address is better than contacting me by this email tool. This email tool is a D2L email client, and that is different, and it is not as easy to use, and so I would appreciate it if you would avoid using this this tool and instead just contact me by a regular email address, Eastern-wise. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into the first content tab here. And that will give us everything we need for this first module. So if we open up the content tab here, actually, let me show us this as a student, view as student. So if I go over here to the content tab, we'll see the how this looks as a student. Now, because this is done before the beginning of the semester, it's not going to show all the links as current, but it does give you an idea of kind of what this looks like otherwise. So let me stop doing that. Go back out here, try again to content. And we'll look at the syllabus for our course here. There are three sections of this same class, 941, 942, and 943. So if your numbers are slightly different up here, that's why. So we have almost, I believe, 60 students in this class between three sections. So that's a good amount, and I'm looking forward to working with everybody. So let's go ahead and open up the syllabus here, and I can talk through the points here in the syllabus. It's a PDF. No need to print it out. It's just going to be available here at all times. And if you sort of go down here, this again is my email address, and this lists our textbooks. The textbooks, the first one by V.J. Manzo, Foundations of Music Technology, is issued by Textbook Rental. It should be mailed to you as a paper, actual physical copy. However, sometimes there are hang-ups with that. Sometimes there are issues. So I've scanned the chapters we need into D2L as PDFs. So you can access the available chapters there for each assignment, and I'll talk about that when we get to them. But if you don't have your textbook mailed to you in time, that's okay. You will get it probably eventually, or you may not need it at all. Your textbook chapters will all be scanned into D2L to avoid any issues. The second textbook by Andrew Brown, Music Technology and Education, Amplifying Musicality. That is a second textbook that we used in the past as a physical copy, but are no longer able to issue that to you. But it is in PDF form on D2L. So you should be able to access those PDFs with each assignment as appropriate. So again, these are all sort of available as PDFs online. The first one you will be mailed. My office hours for this class, I have a four-hour window on Fridays. Just sort of worked out with my weekly schedule to have this sort of chunk of time from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Central Time. Now, everybody is kind of scattered all over the United States for this class, which is really cool and provides a really great perspective on everything. So this is a time where you can expect me to kind of be available and be online to answer any questions a little quicker, or if you need a quick Zoom session to answer any questions or any sort of technical issues. If you need to contact me during these times, just send me an email and I can send you a quick Zoom link. Other times during the week, you can I'll be available. I'll be on campus here at Eastern, Monday through Thursday usually, and during normal hours. I will try to get back to your messages as soon as I can. And this is just a statement that clarifies my plan for getting things graded and getting responses back to you. So I will try to grade all things within 4 days of the due date. That's a nice goal. With 60 students, we'll see how we do with that. But I tend to turn around grading rather quickly. I don't want things to linger. You need feedback and so on. So I will try to stick to that plan. I will generally be available 10 a.m. Monday morning, and then 5 p.m. on Fridays during the work week, Monday through Friday. If you message me over the weekend, I will try to get back to you as I can, but it may not be until Monday if things are busy. I'm sure you understand. Let's see, our course description and objectives. This course is about basically finding how and exploring how music technology interacts with us as educators, and how we can apply the concept of technology in the music realm on a broader scale, and think about how it can be useful, even if we sort of have this incoming premonition that technology might be scary or foreign to us. What this class does is kind of brings us into the realm of technology and thinking about how it can be useful, even though it may not be our forte. It may not be something that we use all the time. I would counter that we use all these things all the time: cell phones, computers, laptops, tablets, all kinds, smart boards, all kinds of things. And so we are in the 21st century sort of forced to reckon with technology on an hour-to-hour, minute-to-minute basis, for better or for worse. And so we're going to be talking about ways in which we can use this technology and these tools to be musical and to teach our students things that sort of speak to their language as well. So this course, this is the description here. I'm not going to read it to you, but it's basically going to cover things like digital audio, basic recording, basic signal paths, what MIDI is and synthesis, and how to sort of incorporate that all into perhaps some projects or lessons. We're also going to be talking about music notation a little bit, basic recording techniques, and editing. And our goal is to focus on free programs. You will not need to download, purchase expensive software for this. You don't need to go and purchase expensive hardware for this. The whole point is to utilize things that are free and available to us online. And that is becoming more and more possible as we go through time. There's a lot of things, especially since COVID, especially since everything has gone online a lot. There's a lot of possibilities in terms of free, accessible online tools, even for Chromebooks. So that's what I really want to sort of focus on in this workshop, and I'm sure you guys all have really good ideas about this as well, as you are all in the K through 12 classrooms and working with students on the ground. So, and these are our objectives, just to become more familiar with these terms and with these tools. So you'll see in our assignments, there's going to be two halves. One half is mostly about terminology and the basic foundations of what music technology sort of usually means in terms of acoustics, signal path, cables, signal types, and hardware, software, things like that. And then there's another half of our assignments that deal with sort of how to implement those things as an educator, and how one maps onto the other. Our course is over the 15-week semester, and here at Eastern, and we'll break that down into 4 modules that are generally 4 weeks in length, the last one being a little shorter, and culminating with finals week in December. The first module basically focuses on acoustics, timbre, what sound is, and how we can sort of think about sound and technology in a broader scale. The second module is more about specifics in terms of signal path, how to record, how to play back, what a recording system requires, and things of that nature. Our third module will be about MIDI and synthesis and how we can use MIDI to make music. And our fourth module will be about how to utilize music theory tools, aural skills things, and notation tools online for students' benefit. And you can see that the textbook chapters, there's usually 2 chapters per book per module. And I'll get into the assignments in a little bit, but that's basically, you can expect a reading assignment for that is associated with each one listed here. So in each module, there is a discussion board grade, a reading guide grade, and a project grade. And as we go, I try to keep things as regular and sort of on schedule as possible. So like every 2 weeks, we'll have things due. That'll give you a lot of flexibility to get things done as you can. So there's a discussion board component because we are all online and we're not in person really ever. So this is kind of a must in terms of exchanging ideas and collaborating with each other. The reading guides are ways to sort of get everybody into the reading and guide them through them. I'll explain a little bit more what reading guides are, but basically they're worksheets that prompt you to answer certain questions about what's in the book in terms of maybe defining terms or describing a signal path as it's sort of shown to you in the book, or maybe writing a short essay or a couple paragraphs about your response to something in terms of education and experience in your experience. The module project are hands-on things where you're working with programs to create some sort of end result and project. And these projects are meant to be introductory. You don't need to have a whole lot of experience with music technology to complete them. So don't worry. I'm not really here to listen for, the amazing quality of your mixes or the, an amazing studio quality recording session, but rather it's about sort of just getting some experience with things and making things go and just demonstrating your facility or sort of learned facility with anything that we were dealing with. So these projects are meant to just kind of sort of show hands-on activities. And finally, these all accumulate to a 500-point total, which will be shown in your on your D2L gradebook, which I'll show you here in a sec. So this page describes the modules in a little bit more detail. Modules will open the first day of the term and ends on the first one will end on Friday at 5 p.m. So Fridays, 5 p.m. are generally my due dates. Subsequent modules will be available every 4 weeks, beginning on Saturdays at 8 a.m. and ending on the Friday, the 5 p.m. 4 weeks later. And those are all those dates are given on D2L, and it's quite logical once you get started. Each module is a quarter-year grade and is centered around 1 or 2 related concepts associated with music technology and education. And each module has reading assignments from the textbook. There will be some content videos for you to enjoy from yours truly. There will be 2 reading assignment guides. Each of them will be 20 points. There'll be 2 discussion board topics to interact with, and then a module project. There may be more than 1 project per module. So, reading guides will come from the completion, the portion of your grade that comes from the reading guides are Word documents that you will download from the Dropbox and fill in on your computer and re-upload your answers. I've done this for a number of years now, and it's quite intuitive, I think, once you get started. And it's a good way to kind of combine and sort of narrow down what you're reading into fixed or focused points that I would want you to focus on. Reading guides are intended to help you focus your reading and comprehension of the textbooks. Your responses should be derived from the context of the reading assignment in your own words. You can additionally comment on how these concepts relate to your own music or teaching life, but you should focus on the content of the textbook in your answers. Your answers must be thorough and use complete sentences. So as you're typing, you can make notes to self. As you're as you're reading, you can type it in there, but then go back and kind of make it into a decent sentence and try to make things clear and easy to read. Your answers must be your own original work, of course. There are 2 reading guides per module, 1 from each textbook. And Late assignments, I don't accept late assignments. However, life happens, and if life does happen and you get in a bind, just reach out to me. And I know how it is. So definitely reach out to me if you have any issues with turning things in on time, especially during the midst of a regular school year. This is in a summer course, for instance. This is a little bit different. So if things get weird, definitely contact me and we can make arrangements. But if I don't have any arrangements noted in my stuff, I will not accept late work. Discussion board. An equal portion is devoted to discussion of topics. There will be 2 topics per module. For each topic, you are required to post 1 quality thread. And for each topic, you are also required to post 1 quality reply to someone else's thread. Your thread and reply each are worth 10 points. Therefore, you're earning up to 20 points per topic. In general, I'm looking for just, honest, good quality interaction with the content and with each other from your own personal experience. So this is less about sort of the terminology of the book and all that sort of thing, and really more about getting to know how you map onto these things in your experience. You are, of course, welcome to reply to other students' posts more often if you'd like. However, you're only required to post 1. In fact, it's probably better if you don't reply to everyone's. Don't think that you're rude if you don't reply to everybody's posts. That sometimes gets lengthy, but I do want to create a discussion, and so definitely participate in more than one if you so choose to. There are 2 topics per module. Each topic thread and reply is worth 20 points total. 2 topics. Each module will add up to 40 points per module. Discussion posts will be closed 1 week after each module is due to encourage you to move on to the next topic. So they're scheduled to sort of shut down once we've moved on to the next content module. And again, that's just to kind of keep us pushing forward. There is a discussion board rubric that is found not on the following page, but that's down here. I guess I skipped a page. But and basically we're looking for just quality responses, and I think that's rather intuitive. But I encourage you to read through this and get to know what we're looking for. Complete sentences, complete thoughts, being respectful, and it's okay to disagree with things, but it's also expected that we are all professional and respectful of everyone else's viewpoints. Module projects. Finally, the third sort of tier to this class is the projects portion of each module. A portion of your grade, 45 points per module, will come from a hands-on project. There may be more than 1 per module. You will not be required to purchase any software or accounts for these projects. If you need to make an account, it will be free. Okay. Sometimes, like Soundtrap, for instance, requires you to sign up with an email address. That is very common, and it's not dangerous to do so. However, you will not need to pay actual monies for any of this stuff. However, we will explore free, open source, downloadable, or web-based music resources. You may need to create accounts with certain services or websites. Each project will demonstrate techniques and concepts covered in each module. Details on each project will be provided. Often I do a demonstration video of these projects, so those are also on D2L. So while your best original work is expected for each project, I do understand you may be limited by available technology and resources. Please do your best to be in touch with me about any limitations you may have in this regard, and we will work out solutions. I don't expect you to be a computer whiz overnight, but I do expect us all to try to do our best and to ask questions if you have them. All projects, everything will be submitted by D2L Dropboxes. The required technology, so we're all using the internet, of course. We're all using laptops or desktop computers. Sometimes using Chromebooks, things get a little bit difficult because there are limitations with Chromebooks. You can't really save things on a Chromebook. You can't really install applications on a Chromebook. Everything has to be web-based on a Chromebook. So you can use them at your own sort of risk and assuming that you're taking on those sorts of limitations. sometimes utilizing other things that are helpful is good. If you have if you're making a video, if you have a microphone, etc. None of this stuff is actually really, really required, but having just good internet and a good computer is really all that you need. And I'm sure if you're already a part of this program, you're fine. So, but basically you need to be able to download, edit, and save Word documents and PDF files. You need to be familiar with emailing attachments, and I think we're all there with that, and navigating D2L. This is a statement about tech support. D2L support is kind of beyond me, even though I've been using D2L for a few years as an instructor. If you have real tech support questions for D2L and Eastern, you can call their D2L number. ITS help desk number is here, 217-581-4357. They do a very good job of responding to you and your questions. There's a web address here for their tech support portal. And finally, online Netiquette. So just a statement that we're encouraged to include about our behavior online and how much that we need to be respectful of everyone. Of course, I know we're all professionals and we are courteous of each other, and this is just something that I do as a formality, but just things to keep in mind about using online classes. This is a little bit more than simply a Facebook post or a text message. Remember that you are communicating with real people. Write clearly and professionally. Stay on topic if you can. Be kind and ethical. Cite your sources and follow the law. We won't really be needing any citations of anything here, and these are just some other sort of guidelines for everybody to behave nicely. And so if you have any questions about anything, please be in touch with me by email. I'd be happy to help. So that's a big, long-winded talk through of our syllabus. So if we go to our first content module, let me go back to content and go to getting started. This first assignment is about a discussion post. So you'll see these things that says, it'll label what it is. So it's a discussion topic. This first discussion topic is just a get to know you kind of exercise. Just, kind of summarize your answers to these 5 questions. And definitely include a photo if you don't mind. And that way I can kind of get to know who you are and where you're coming from. And I'll do the same, of course. You can expect to see my post on D2L as well. So this is just a great way for us to kind of exchange ideas and to read about each other. I also have a little bit of stuff down here. These are just links to free things. And as people tell me about stuff, I will add it to this list. I know there's a lot more stuff. So if you are working with a free digital audio workstation or a free sampler or sequencer, a free online synthesizer, a free notation products, etc., send them my way. And I love listing those things here because it's a resource for us all to take advantage of. So let's look at the first module and just kind of talk about the first one and the pattern that you can expect to be achieving here. So each module will be released on a certain date. So the second and third and fourth modules won't be available to you yet. We're trying to focus on one at a time. You're willing, if you want to complete all of this stuff in one module in one day, I think it's probably possible. I don't expect anybody to do that. Everybody works at a different pace. These workshops are meant to be flexible. However, I do need to keep everybody in the same module. That's why the other modules are not released yet. So for us to be a class, I want us all to focus on one thing at a time in general. So this first module lists what we are focusing on, our activities, so much room, and our assignments. So notice that we have 2 due dates in this first assignment, in this first module, excuse me. Our first due date is 2 weeks after the start of the term. Everything's due Fridays, 5 p.m. Okay, Fridays, 5 p.m. Post and reply to Module 1, Discussion 1. Complete Module 1 reading guide that's out of the Brown textbook on music, technology, and education specifically. And then complete Module 1, Project 1. So in this first module, there's 2 projects. And the first one is due within this first 2 weeks. The second half of the module, it will be due then 2 weeks after that, at Friday, 5 p.m. And that is Friday, September 16th, 5 p.m. That's another discussion topic where you are going to post and then reply to someone else's post. You're going to complete Module 1 Reading Guide 2. That's out of the Manzo. The Manzo text you'll find is a little bit more technical. It's meant to be an introduction, so it doesn't go deeply into things, but it gives you a nice sort of familiarization to the technical terminology and signal paths that we're going to be talking about and dealing with. The first one is about acoustics and sound and psychoacoustics, how we hear and vibrations and waveforms and things like that. And then, of course, our second module project will be due at this time. So again, these are all open at this point. After the first day of school has started, you are able to get these completed at your leisure. I expect them, since we have 4 weeks, to get these all done by the 16th. It'd be nice if we could get everybody done by this first deadline as well. Everything now is listed down here. So let me go into our Dropbox and sort of show what that looks like. So you have a Dropbox for a reading guide that has your Word document that you will download, and then a PDF. So that the Word document, I'll open this up and show you once my Word. You can also complete these in Google Docs, whatever these. I think these are pretty ubiquitous at this point, but this allows us to type in here and answer. Type your answers in the actual document, and then once you're done typing in your answers, you will go to File, Save As, and then you'll save it as with your last name, and then what it is. Save it. And then when you're done, this is the instructor side, but you will see a submission portal where you will click on and then upload the document that you've just saved. These other links give you the PDFs that you need to complete the assignment. So each Dropbox will have a PDF of the reading material and a worksheet. Apparently it's taking a minute to download this PDF. There we go. So this is the Brown textbook. They look slightly different, but and again the assignment is here, and it will guide you through that reading. You can see how it does this by showing you to specific pages and topics, and kind of asking you to summarize your thoughts on each reading topic. If you have any questions about this process, definitely be in touch. Finally, we also have a discussion board here. And so this will link to a discussion topic, okay, where there'll be a thread. And again, this will be easier to show once the class has started. This is the day before, this is the Friday before. I have some video lectures here on acoustics and the slides that go with them. You may enjoy those. And then this is our first project here, and all the requirements of it. And then we have another lecture on timbre, slides on timbre, another reading guide that's due at the end of the module, and then a discussion, and then another project. So this is a video that explains how to do this second project for this module. Don't forget that your grades are all listed here in this tab. As I grade things, your points will show up in this tab here. If I click on this, you'll see, I don't know, there's no grades yet, but I don't want to record everybody's grades. But if you click, please find this and keep track of your progress through the course, and be in touch if you have any questions about your grade, definitely. I believe that this is the end of what I need to show you. The discussions are in the communications tab, but everything is linked in the content section. So I really think just everything can be clicked on from content. The calendar shows all the due dates of all the things. And like I said, once we get going, it'll be rather sort of rhythmic. Everything kind of has a regular sort of pattern to them. at this class. Okay, I will end this really long video. If you have any questions, be in touch. It's really nice to sort of meet you here. And I look forward to meeting you in the D2L classroom. Thanks.